was right before, so why am I still here alone? Whoa, yeah. You think you know me by now, but somehow I'm still here. I don't know me anymore. Yeah, let's run away. Alone. Yeah, let's get away.
Hey guys.
Cause I don't wanna be alone.
Welcome to my stream. It's nice to be here. How are you guys doing today?
I just need to find out how to leave this place. Looking for an excuse just to see your face, but I don't really know who I was before. Are you really here to stay? Please hold me close.
Yeah, these are N50 exits.
Place. So why don't we run away and go to another place? So why don't we run away and go to another place? So why don't we run away? Yeah, let's run away. Cause I don't wanna be alone.
Hey guys, welcome to my Defier stream. I'm really happy to be here to do an artist showcase. I've never had the opportunity to go about sharing how I actually make my music for certain reasons, but I thought this was a unique opportunity to break down what I do and share my process. Alright, so I think I'm ready to start here. I'm just waiting for everybody to get in. We've already got 35 people in here. That's amazing. That's so cool. So I'm a little nervous, but so bear with me, but I'm gonna try to do my best to explain to you how I go about making my music. So this is my song, Escape. I started this song last year at some point, or earlier this year. It was after I finished my EP, and I was going on a bit of a hiatus from music because I had just finished my body of work that I poured my heart and soul into, and after that point, it was hard to kind of find the drive to, get back out there and try to make something that I believe in again, because I felt like I was so drained after I finished my project, everything in between. So yeah, I was dealing with some pretty bad writer's block, and then the pandemic hit, as well. And so it was kind of hard to get back on my feet, but I wanted to write a song that just kind of challenged my philosophy and the way that I actually go about writing music in the first place. All of my music in the past has been like really, instrumental and like had all these like really pretty moments and everything, but I was frustrated at myself for not having a song that I could just like go on a drive and like listen to and just like, I don't know, something that felt more lighthearted, I guess. So I wanted to challenge myself. I wanted to implement more drums as well, because I hadn't really used a lot of drums as like a main like factor in my music. So what I did was to spark the inspiration for starting this project, I decided to take some of the music that inspires me that I write and try to flip it on its head as a starting point. And the reason why I do this is because when I'm having a hard time giving a song meaning and a song purpose, it's easy to pull those feelings and emotions from other pieces of music that I've written to kind of fuel something new that can then like drive me to create something like unique. And I'll get into that whole process later, but I want to show you the first version of Escape. This is the first, if you've heard Escape, I just played it. This is the very first version of it. So with all that being said, here it is. That's the new version. Here, oh, here's the old one.
Still here alone. Whoa. You think you know me by now, but somehow I'm still here. You don't know me anymore. You just run away. 'Cause I don't wanna be alone. Yeah, let's get away.
Make your music stand out, get more views, and way more engagement. Bring your music to life. Get Music Visualizer. In every format, even for social media. Get started today. The link is in the description.
To another place. So why don't we run away? And go to another place. So why don't we run away? And go to another place. So why don't we run away? Yeah, let's run away. 'Cause I don't wanna be alone.
Okay. So, I wanted to start out by sharing that with you because, I think it's important to, like, kind of showcase where I started, and it's so loud outside. Give me 1 second. I think it's important to showcase, how the song and idea came to be, and, where I was going with it. So this song, I I didn't expect to release this. I was just like, I'm in writer's block. I need to force myself to create something that, you know, inspires me and makes me happy, and that's what this was. But as the idea evolved, I kind of brought new meaning and feelings into this project, because what it was about originally was me like feeling like I can't escape my I don't know. Sorry, it's just hard to put into words. I couldn't escape my like routine, and I couldn't escape the way that I felt about myself and how I go about like, you know, portraying myself, and I kind of wanted to just like run away from all my problems, and it was just like a cathartic song. It didn't have too much meaning beyond that, but like it still was important to me. But you know, over time, things changed in the world, and that really took a toll on me. I was having a harder time feeling connected to myself and feeling connected to what I do. So anyways, I'm gonna stop talking about this. Let me get into how I actually went about producing this song, because I don't have a ton of time here. So I start with this fill right here, which is I chopped up a drum loop from one of my favorite drummers in the world. His name is Jaron King. He used to play for Mute Math, and I grew up listening to this band called Mute Math. So I found his sample pack, and it was a huge inspiration for the song. So I put it on the beats transient mode to give it kind of that like weird choppy feel to it. Took the hi-hats and like started with the hi-hats. And I was like, oh, that is money. That is so cool. And then I also just recorded some reverb from the project. And just, that's the intro. So this whole section right here, I've got this huge drum stack that in my opinion pushes the whole song. Show the group processing, please. All right. Sorry, I'm just messing with my levels here. All right, my bad. So this group right here is actually the same group that happens in the drop, but I put a low pass filter on the whole thing. Yeah, I believe it's this whole section. Yeah. Okay, my bad. So I've got. Oh, this is weird. Yeah, so this is my low pass filter right here, and I'm just getting rid of some of the frequencies that cut through pretty bad. I've got a couple super saws here, nothing crazy, just like here. I'm gonna get into more detail on this in a second, but just a couple basic super saws, and then this white noise, mixed with this sound right here, which I'll go into detail about because I have a story about that. But this is just audio right here. This is audio taken from one of my songs that I pitch bended and stretched to turn into the chords and the driving force of the song, actually. So I'll get into that. Got this bass here. I don't know, when I solo bass, the whole thing shows up. That's weird. Okay, so yeah, just got a simple, super simple bass. I do this all the time. Just like I'll choose, I don't know, like a square wave or a saw wave or something. Like honestly, the first thing that like pops into my head. Like this is just a sub right here. So it's a sub and a square bass and a saw wave with a low pass filter. And I just threw it on envelope one. Like super simple. I got this sound right here. It's just like reverb noise. I got this guitar stack right here. So that sounds pretty cool. Sorry, I was replying to Alex of Defire. Okay, I got this vocal chop, which is another like driving force in this song. So this whole thing was really simple. I just chopped up a vocal, put reverb on it that I don't own apparently, a pedal for distortion, and OTT. And that was just for this one sound, sorry. And then I just kind of like did different things for each one. And then I got this. Okay.
It's been a long time.
Sorry.
I know I've been down this road before. So am I still here alone? Whoa.
So I got this vocal going on here. The way I went about actually like what's the automation on the vocal? How you write chords? Okay, I'll get into all that in a second. Sorry, I forgot about the camera situation. Sorry. Okay, so with my vocals, I hadn't really ever written a song that had like, you know, studio quality sounding vocals in my opinion. So this whole process, I didn't watch any tutorials. I just kind of went with it and tried my darndest to get something that sounds okay.
It's been a long
So I have like a center vocal right
been a
here,
long time, and I know
and then I've got this like this stack that is formatted up, and then there's reverb on it, and I put this in the back of the mix just to kind of add some like clarity.
it's been a long time, and I know
So it sounds pretty good. And then I've got left and right,
been a long time,
which are different takes, so I just get this whole like stereo
been
feel.
a long time, and I know I've been down this.
It works for me. I thought it was pretty cool. I also actually, no, I'll get back to this in a second. I put all my vocals in this like group called vocals or vocal, just so I can like organize it a little bit better, to the best of my ability.
By now, but somehow I'm still here. You don't know me anymore. Yeah, let's run away.
So let me get into the build here for a second. I've got this pad sound. I'm trying to remember what this started as. Because with a lot of my sound design, the way I go about making a lot of my sounds is I'll make something that inspires me, or I'll take something that inspires. Well, hold on, let me get into my philosophy a little bit if I'm gonna start talking about this. So with music, in my opinion, doesn't matter how I get from point A to point B, as long as point B is something that I resonate with and keeps me inspired and fulfilled. That's why my project files are so messy. That's why everything is so unorganized, because like at the end of the day, I know that ultimately I am the only one who gets to actually see this process, and however I can go about being the most creative, that's all that really matters. So that's why like my production is like super like messy and everything. But anyways, this sound right here, I don't, let me pitch it up and see. Oh, interesting. Oh, cool. Oh. This is a song that I wrote at the beginning of the year called "The Clouds Were Here for Us," and I'm not going to go into detail about that, but that's so cool. I literally just took the song and pitch bended it. That's so sweet. So yeah, that's the pad. I didn't even know.
I've been down this road before. So
Beyond that, it's just the noise from the vocal.
think you know
The
me
next clap.
by now. I'm still here. You don't know me anymore.
I thought this little break in between the build and the drop would just add a lot of, you know, power, I guess. I think when you have that space in between, like tension and relief, it can sound super magical, if you could do it right. So yeah, that's this.
Yeah, let's run away. 'Cause I don't wanna be alone.
love writing moments like this sometimes because, like, if I'm inspired, then these moments can be very cathartic for me. This is the point in my songwriting where I'm like, I don't really care what I'm doing. I just want, like, this whole thing to, like, come together and feel, like, big, and then I'll just throw everything at the wall and just see what sticks, you know? And that's how I get my sound. It's always different. People are always like, how do you go about, like, the Jaron Supersaw sound or whatever? And I think it's really sweet that people call it that, but, like, honestly, I just kind of throw things at the wall. So I have this stack right here, which is the same stack from before. It's just a couple supersaws, they're just the initial preset saw wave with this is always a random number because I don't really keep track of it. Usually this is like 16 or something. And then I think this is the same, yeah, this is the same exact thing, just up an octave. So that's that, along with white noise. The white noise is actually very loud, but I'll get into that in a second, along with the bass. And the main driving force of this entire song is this sound right here. Like, this gives it so much life and texture. So this sound right here, as I said at the beginning of the stream, I started by taking something that already meant something important to me, and then kind of using those feelings and everything to push myself to add meaning to a new song and create something new for myself. So in a time where it's kind of where I'm not getting a lot of input in my world around me, and not like I'm not going out and exploring or creating those moments for myself where I can come home and be inspired, I kind of have to figure out how to do that without, you know, having those moments. So how I did it was here's the sound right here. Sorry. So if you listen to that sound just stretched out, it sounds like this. So if you listen to that reversed, it sounds like this. So if you're a fan of mine, you would have realized this is my song, Bring Me Home. This is the bill of Bring Me Home. So yeah, this is the sound. It's just the build, and then I pitch bended it 4 semitones up. And then I took the same chord and just pitched it down 5 semitones. This is the same part of the song. I just pitched it down. And then I took the minor chord, like, as a resolution for the ending. And then, yeah, that's the whole chord progression for the whole song. And I thought those chords, like, felt so magical to me because I haven't really voiced my chords this way before, I guess. I don't know much about theory or anything, but I know it feels right to me, and just pitch bending like the one chord like just felt so magical to me for some reason. I can't really explain it. So yeah, that was how I wrote these songs, or these chords. Sorry, my bad, I got distracted. There's a couple other sounds here to drive everything. I got this guitar. So yeah, that's magical in my opinion. The song is just so cool. I'm not trying to sound like a dick or egotistical or anything when I talk about the song. It's just like this whole process is like so important to me, you know. When I'm sitting down and writing a song and I actually create something that like I believe in, it's just so magical. So Yeah. Oh, my bad, I had something muted. Okay. Okay, let me get back into the production stuff that you're here for. I got this big clap sound where I just layered a ton of different samples together. I got that snare. I got that snare. I got that one. It has that little transient before the rest of the snare, and it just sounds so like cool all together. I got a pan snare, and then like this big Cashmere acoustic snare, and then all together it's just like. And that's not even it, because there's more. I think I used another snare on top of that. But yeah, I have this right here. So it's just like a very airy kind of drum sound, and that's like my favorite thing. So all together, it's just like this huge snare. And there's not many drums beyond that. There's a kick. And it's just like a Okay, yeah, I'll get into the mixing tips. So, big secret for my production is for these moments where it's really big, I abuse the glue compressor like crazy. And I push everything together really, really hard. Like, here, just take a look at this. I've never shared this with anybody because I'm kind of embarrassed about it because my mixing is really bad. I don't actually know what I'm doing. But I got sent this compression mastered chain thing, and so I put it on all of the like big parts of my song, and it just like glues everything together like super nicely. In terms of mixing, I usually push the low end pretty high up in the mix, and I push the drums really high up in the mix because with the way that this compressor works, I don't actually sidechain anything. I just play the kick really loudly, and because it runs through this compression chain, it'll hit the I'm pretty sure it's the glue compressor that does this. When the kick hits or the snare hits, it'll like duck the entire mix automatically because of the limiter. But it just sounds like massive. So yeah, let me like, I'm trying to find a more sophisticated way to like break this down, but that's really it. In terms of the drop, like I could go into more detail on, oh, I guess I'm actually doing pretty good on time. This is a square. I use a square as my main bass for pretty much all of my music, and I kind of hide it in the back of the mix, but I do that because the low end is just so like, here, let me get, what is that one plugin called where you can, like Spectrum? Yeah, squares are crazy. Check this out. No, hold on. There we go. It's just like so massive with the bass frequencies, and then like the rest of the frequencies just add a lot of texture to the rest of the song if you have enough moving. So yeah, all together it's just like, it's so much of the mix too. It's like half of the mix. Yeah, let's get away. That's Graves' chain? Oh, crazy. I think I gave it to Graves like last year. It's been around. That chain has been around. I'm not going to share it though because it's really valuable, but feel free to steal it from me by looking at it right now. Yeah, like I literally, this is useless by the way. I only put up the utility at the beginning because I mix everything really quiet, so I have a lot of room to work with, like for my, dynamic range and everything. No, I don't. I'm not accusing Graves of anything. He might have gotten it on his own, but I think that guy has plenty more to be worried about right now. My bad. Sorry, it's awkward. I have this crash right here. Oh, let me get into the crashes. This is important. Noise is like half of my mix for my drops. I have this crash and this noise right here. And it's like, it breaks your ears, but mixed with everything else, it's like, it really adds a lot of energy to the whole thing. Without it, it's like, you know, it's big, but with the noise, it's pretty massive. And I use this sound in every single song that like I've ever written. It's just this like prog essential noise for like house music or something, and like, it clips the hell out of my mix, and I love it. It's amazing. Yeah, white noise is absolutely everything, especially for feature bass and like, you know, music like this. It's like everything. I try to hide my super saws as best I can because I've always thought that the super saw sound was actually kind of corny, unless people can do it like tastefully. Like people can, and it sounds awesome, like Flume. But it's the best for creating noise and atmosphere, and if I can like hide it in the back of my mix with like other noises that I like resample or create, then it sounds really good. And I'll get into that when I play my next song, Venture, because I can go into way more detail because that song's, you know, more of an electronic song. So let me get into the background here.
Find out how to leave this place. Looking for an excuse just to see your face, but I don't really know who I was before. Are you really here to stay? Please hold me close.
So yeah, if you heard, this section actually exists in the old version too. It was a little different, but I've got this sound right here, which is the driving force. I adore this sound. So let me listen to what this used to be. This used to be Bring Me Home. No, it wasn't. Oh, this is just... Okay, you know what this is? I remember what this is. This is Bring Me Home. This is Bring Me Home run through a granulizer, and I was playing with it one day, and it sounded pretty to me. So I took that and just pitched it down and turned it into chords. And beyond that, it's just other like textures and sounds and stuff. And this sound that I made by taking the vocal chop and just putting reverb on it. So I have these drums right here, and I was browsing YouTube and I found this crazy video of Lewis Cole playing drum and bass on like let me pull it up really quick. Actually, I got math in here. Sorry, I'm typing so slow right now. This video, check this out. This is crazy. From 2010. So I thought this was nuts, so I took it and then quantized it and I chopped it up.
I know who I was before. Are you really here to stay? Please hold me close.
Sorry, I got a call from Alex the Fire. I don't know if it was an accident. Okay. Sorry. Let me try to get right back on track. I'm kind of messing up here. So that's the whole build section right there. Okay, my bad. I'm so sorry. Alex was worried about the video that I just played, but I think we're okay. So I took the same sounds from before, and I used it as the basis for the like the pretty section that I wrote. I really adore this section because before this was like the crazy section on here where I was like playing drums really fast and I turned it into this like kind of beautiful moment where I sang "Hold Me Close," which is sweet. I've got a lot of different sounds that I use to try to fill up the space and create something beautiful. This right here, let me see what this was. This probably was me playing guitar or something. Oh, it's reverse guitar. Interesting. So I do this quite a lot. I'll reverse my guitar and then throw a ton of effects on it, and it creates this just beautiful atmosphere. So yeah, let me get through this process really quick. I've got a guitar pedal, a high pass filter, some reverb. This is Valhalla Supermassive. It's one of the most powerful plugins in the world, in my opinion. It's a reverb by Valhalla, and it's free. And there's just some really beautiful reverbs on here. I got another distortion pedal right here. The reason why I do two distortion pedals is because when I try to fill up space with atmosphere, and I want to create this kind of a sound, I'll use the first distortion to distort the original sound, and then I'll put reverb on it so it's a wet sound, and then I'll put another pedal on it or distortion, so I distort the reverb signal, and it gets even bigger. It's a dry but massive signal, and then I'll put another reverb on it to add more space, and then it just turns into this massive sound. And then I put a high pass filter on it. I've got the sound of a string through a glue compressor to just make it loud and compress everything, and it sounds really good in my opinion.
Make your music stand out, get more views, and way more engagement. Bring your music to life. Get Music Visualizer. In every format, even for social media. Get started today. The link is in the description.
Why don't we run away and go to another place? So why don't we run away and go to another place? So why don't we...
So I have this whole build section right here, where I sang "So Why Don't We Run Away," and maybe I'll get into the vocals at the end. This is just a build. I take the same section that I've been using for the rest of the song, where I'd put a low pass filter on the big drop section. Bring it over here and put a clap on it.
So why don't we run away and go to another place? So why don't we run away and go to another place.
I also got this shaker right here, but I think that's a lot of texture.
Run away, go to another place. Why don't we run away? Yeah, let's run away. Cause I don't wanna be alone.
It's the same drop as before. And I've got this whole outro section that sounds too much intro. So yeah, let me get into the vocal process a little bit. Maybe talk about the lyrics a little bit. Okay, sorry. I'm trying my best to keep up right now. I got a little sidetracked. So I have this whole vocal. I talked about this first section already. The way I went about processing this, beyond just throwing it in here, I put a de-esser on it to get rid of some of the harsh like S frequencies. I was told this works really well.
And I know.
And this is just it's one of the Ableton presets. I've got a little EQ on it just to maybe bring down this frequency and bring up the others to make it sound a little bit more clear. So yeah, I ran it through these groups here. This is a trick that I learned from Ninth Parallel. I run this signal into an effects bus where I can
don't know me anymore.
So I put the reverb and delay up here, and then I have this compressor that when I'm singing, it's not like pushing through the wet signal super hard. Here.
I've been down this road before, so why am I still here alone?
It's really subtle, but it sounds really good in my opinion. Sorry.
You think you know?
So yeah, before the drop, I always knew that the lyrics in this song would be like, yeah, let's run away because I don't want to be alone. Those were the first lyrics I wrote, and I wanted that section to just have like a ton of energy. So yeah, I like yelled into my mic and just tried to make it sound big.
Yeah, let's run away.
So I've got a few stacks going on here.
Yeah, let's run away.
I've got the dry signal, and then
yeah, let's run away.
I have a signal where I was like back a few feet.
Yeah, let's run away.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, let's run away.
So I've got a one where it's formatted up a little bit, and then one where it's formatted down. So it just creates like a lot of space, and it just sounds really big. So all together, it sounds like
yeah, let's run away.
Just massive.
Yeah, let's get away.
And that was the same thing here, except this time I used
yeah, let's get away.
I used pretty much just the dry signal, and then for when I say like I used these to help like pronounce some of the words a little bit better. I'm sorry.
Yeah, let's get away.
And it just sounds really big.
Get away.
And then I sang because I don't want to be alone. I hope I'm not rushing anything.
I don't wanna be alone.
So this whole signal is pretty wet.
Cause I don't wanna be.
Yeah, so I have the dry signal here with an EP where I took out
Cause I don't wanna be.
some of the frequencies, and then I have an auto tune,
Cause I don't want.
which is pretty simple. It was just a basic pitch correction, a de-esser, another de-esser, but this is the fat filter one, a glue compressor, and then that was actually it. I'm not using the Valhalla there. And this one's a very wet signal. It's the same exact process Where's the reverb coming? Oh, the reverb's coming from the bus. That's right. Okay. And then this one's. They're just different takes to really bring up the stereo field.
Because I don't wanna be.
Okay, let me get into the granular stuff. Maybe at the end of the stream, maybe I'll do like a live demo of how I actually go about writing those sections. Just to give a little bit more insight as to my actual writing process beyond this part of it all. So I'm actually going to go ahead and go to Venture right now to make some time for that. So give me one moment. Okay. Sorry, I feel like I kind of choked at the end of the escape part. But I hope any of this was insightful to you. It was fun, like going through the whole project file to see, you know, how I actually went about making this song. And again, yeah, my process of producing is so unconventional, and so I still hope that through like my twisted brain and the way that I actually like find, you know, clarity through my music, I hope it means something to you. Sorry for my choice of words. Okay, Melodyne hasn't loaded. That's okay, I don't use Melodyne. Okay, so here is Venture. This is my most popular song. I started the song because it marked a point in my life where I was starting to really understand myself a little bit better and grow into the person that I am now. I was definitely the turning point from me being like more of a kid to being, you know, an adult with responsibilities, and it just represented like kind of adventure and that feeling of being able to, you know, explore and have the whole world at my disposal to go and see. And yeah, so that's what kind of drove this song initially, but also I just wanted to write a cool song. Like I thought the idea of the song was solid, so I'll go ahead and start. I start with this intro that I wrote on guitar. So I'll go into why sorry. The reason why I layered my guitar this way is because I wrote it on guitar, like just playing the chords open, but when I recorded it, it didn't sound like nearly as open as I wanted it to, so I recorded every single note twice. So I have like the bass notes here, and then I have... So I play open notes here to kind of fill up the whole space right here. And yeah, and that's really it. It's super simple. This sound right here, this has serum effects on it. I'm assuming it's reverb. Yeah, it's just a little bit of reverb. There's also serum effects reverb. I think this was the only reverb I had at the time, so everything is serum effects reverb. I really stupid EQ, but it works. And then I just sing the main melody as well. Along with a sub bass right here. So yeah, I actually plugged my guitar. I always plug my guitar straight into my audio interface, and that's how I get the sound. I don't even run it through an amp or anything. Like, this is just the signal that I get. And that's how I've always done it. And it sounds good, in my opinion. So most of this song, you'll hear these kinds of sounds. It's pretty much the whole song. I'm just like tremolo picking my guitar, and then I go into Ableton and I pitch bend it. So I'm playing the same note, but I give myself the freedom to change the notes here. And then if you guys remember that process that I did before of how I actually go about like distorting it's a very similar process. I did distortion, or sorry, I did reverb and then distortion and then reverb again. So I take the wet signal and actually make it like distorted, which just sounds crazy. And then I put another reverb over that to just add this massive space. So I've always done this. And then a low pass filter. It almost sounds like a string. So yeah. So this is just how did I even go about doing this? I think this is just Jesus Christ. It's like a sine wave. I'm so sorry. That's so painful to listen to. Yeah, I must have stretched something like really far and I made it sound like feedback. That's how I got the sound. Oh, and then I also just took the tails of all the guitars and just brought them up and like reversed them and went up along with the prog essential noise. And then everything stops. So it's just another like huge guitar stack here. So I play the chords open. So yeah, let me get into this a little bit. I'm trying to not waste too much time so I can like get through the whole song. But sorry for all the harsh frequencies. I was 15 or 16. I was 16, definitely 16. But just a ton of distortion with reverb. Yeah, and I pitched it way up. That's what I did. So that's how I got the like that whole sound there. So yeah, I'm playing my guitar like one note at a time to just like have complete control over the mix. Oh yeah, harmonics. Let me get to that right here. So this I just played, you know, the harmonics on the 12th fret on my guitar and just recorded it, and then I pitch bended it a little bit, I think. Not even at all. Wow. So yeah, I play the notes and then it's the same distortion process as before. So it sounded like before. Oh, I pitched it down? I don't know why I did that. So let me get into the super saws as well here. So I have the same stack that I had on the last project file. It's just, this is a sub bass. It's not a square this time. Just a basic super saw. And when I go about actually writing the chords in my music, I try to just kind of fit as many voicings in the chords as I can to just like really fill up all the space. This is my favorite thing, the dissonance. I love adding dissonance in my music. So on its own, it sounds kind of corny, but in context, it sounds like massive. So this part is really straightforward. I played the bass notes, so they were more defined, like the root notes, and then I just I like plucked this bit, and it sounds really cool in my opinion. So yeah, well, with the root note. Also, I have a bass here as well. It's just a sine wave. And then along with this, I just have the harmonics. Okay, yeah, I do pitch it down as well. That's why it goes, which is kind of cool. And then this is the same sound as before. It's this one. It's the exact same one. So here I just took the Kashmir orchestral hits. I always found them like pretty massive, so that's what I chose for this. And this sound right here, I just reversed one of them and put reverb on it. Or maybe there's reverb. Yeah, there's reverb on the whole thing. Okay, well, fuck it. That's cool. So I put reverb on the whole stack, just to kind of make it feel more real, I guess, add like some like room and texture. So yeah, those are the build like massive drums. Beyond that, it's just a respace. I guess I did the top half of the respace as one individual thing, and then I also just did a sine wave here. I distorted it too. And this is where I kind of introduced the main sound in the song, like the melody, I guess, the ba 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 ba, which also came from my guitar. It's the same sound. So this is what it turned into, and I kind of used it as a synth. And this right here, I think, is just a sine wave. So yeah, this was an already distorted sine wave that I had on my computer that used to sound like this. And then I just pitch bended it. No, I didn't even pitch bend it. I just automated the volume. And I think it's the same exact sound, actually. So altogether, it just adds like a lot of movement. Along with a snare roll. I used to love doing snare rolls back in the day. Like I did them in like every song, because they're just so massive. So I just got contact drums here. Super basic automation. I didn't even try. Or velocity notes or whatever. I guess this is just another snare to add texture. This is fun. So just a sine wave. It's a sine wave with a flanger and reverb, and it's panning around. It's in the back of the mix though, so I don't know if anyone's ever noticed that. I also have these risers right here that I made by just pulling. I just automated the pitch and had a little bit of noise, and then actually like messed with where you can actually like hear it in the EQ spectrum. So that's what it sounded like before, and then I just duplicate it and use a different note. So it just like adds space. Oh, contact library for the snares. My bad. Let me show you. That's important. I used GarageKit right here. Studio Drummer GarageKit. Sorry, my bad. I think it came free with the version of the contact pack that I have, and it works. It's just like a basic drum tool, and then you have that fill. Where's the fill? Sorry, this is such a mess. Oh, it's actually in. So I actually group my sections of my songs because it makes sense to me. It's messy, but it allows me to like master that section of the song specifically a little bit differently, which is messy, but it's what I do. Okay, so I reversed the tom to do that, and then I reversed the kick because it sounds crazy, and then I reversed the snare as well. So I paired the kick with the snare for the actual hit, so when it hits, it's like massive. Oh, that's so cool. I put a kick on every single snare hit, so it's just it's even bigger. Here, I'm trying to find everything here. Okay, so where's the sound? Where's the pre-drop sound? Oh, this is it right here. Okay, so this is the sound right here. So what I did was I used the resample mode in Ableton and recorded a chunk of my song. And then I actually did this in the old version of the song that existed before this version, so it was in a different key. It sounded like this. I guess it was like, I have no clue what it sounded like before. But I pitched it down 6 semitones and then just did pitch bending, and then I did another one that was an octave higher. And together just adds like this texture, so it's cool. So it's the same lead as before. I have a couple supersaws going on in here. I'm about to get to the how I make the sound massive right now. The same supersaw as before. It's the initial literally initial preset. I went 16 unison and then like 7 unison or something, and that's what it sounds like. And then so I think a lot of the reason why it sounds so big is because the chords are also so massive, because I use so many voices. Let me make this easier to listen to. Okay. So yeah, the voices are just like pretty big. And I just duplicate that for however. So I had 2 instances of CM running. one an octave higher, same as before, probably. Yeah, this one's more detuned because it adds a lot of texture. And then I also put reverb on it, like a short room reverb to add space. This isn't a usual thing I do. I just like messed around with it and it sounded cool. Along with that square. That square is so big too. It really like fills up the whole song, and literally it's just a square. There's nothing here except for a square. And that's the bass. Along with the prog essential noise, of course. Let me put the volume automation back on here. So yeah, I threw this whole thing in a group, and then I just did utility automation. Oh yeah, and that's the thing. The only hats in this entire song is it's just one ride on every single beat, I believe. It's like pss, 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 and it's just like massive. And that's all it needs because there's so much movement in the actual saw that like I don't need to fill up the space with other drums. So it's just one hat. And then a snare similar to the one before where it's a pan snare. This bright snare. This punchy secure burst snare. Secure burst is so cool. I put reverb on it. This is dry. This is dry. What happened if you turn the serum sub on that square? Oh, interesting. Yeah, I'll try right now. Someone asked what would happen if I added the sub in here. I've never done that. Well, they clash over each other, but if I turn it into a sub, it sounds completely different. Because the square is responsible for so much of that sound. I'm trying to get to the lead because there's more to this lead. Yeah, this whole section right here. This thing right here, this is like the money in my opinion. Somebody made a video of them like trying to break down this song. It was really, really cool, and this person named Oversample. They did a really good job. But what I thought was interesting is he actually chose a different process for automating this part. This part doesn't take any breaks. Like it never stops. It's always going up. And then it keeps going up here. So it's like a riser. So yeah, I just thought it was fascinating having like a song that like never stops going up, you know. It's just kind of cool. It sounds like it's always building suspense. That was just kind of a general theme with the song, like constantly building suspense and release, but like overcoming that with even more tension. I think I'm getting too into like the nitty gritty of it because like in all honesty, as I said, I don't focus too much on the little things when I produce. Like it's never been like, oh, I'll use this little trick and it'll inspire me. It's like I kind of have to see the whole picture together to feel inspired. But again, it's why I've never tried to like explain my process for like stacking everything together, because it's not elegant at all. It's just like the fastest way for me to get my idea from my head to my computer and convey it in a way that's meaningful to me. And this is how I go about doing it. So I'm happy with it and it works. Okay, the synth wobble. Yeah, this is like probably the most interesting part of the drop actually. So this is the thing where I resampled the song. So I have the resampling mode right here. It's this chord. So I took that chord and then I stretched it. I think it was that chord, but I stretched it to 800 BPM. So it's like super straight. You can even hear the kick transient. That's a kick right there, the first thing. And then I pitch it up. And then beyond that, I had an auto pan to make it go left and right. And then took this sound, or took a high pass filter, or a low pass filter, high pass filter, sorry, and it goes up and then back down to just kind of add more like movement to the whole thing. Then that's the whole fill. I just put 2 kicks on it to make the kick more defined. And that's it. It feels like it's breathing. I really love it. And I love this part to death. It's so beautiful. I love this part so much. My favorite part is the snare. So cool. And this is just playing with the velocity. And the softest kick I could possibly find, which was this, which is also from the same pack. So it's just like so cool. Layered it with a bass, and just like I tried to fill up the space with guitars. I'm trying to find like a whole guitar stack. Yeah, it's this right here. So yeah, that's the whole riff. I played each note individually, so I have full control. It's not elegant, but it sounds really good. This was just, yeah. So this is like probably my favorite part of the whole song right here, actually. I think it's so pretty. So this is the sound that kind of drives the whole thing. So the way that I went about getting this was I started, I might as well start from the very beginning. I started by recording myself. Let me. Oh, what, did I freeze and flatten it or something? Okay, let me reverse it really quick. Yeah. So I started playing notes on my guitar and just moving my finger around without strumming it twice, just in the same key that I was in. And then I reversed it.
Make your music stand out, get more views, and way more engagement. Bring your music to life. Get Music Visualizer. In every format, even for social media. Get started today. The link is in the description.
So I reversed it, and then after I reversed it, I put distortion on it, and I started with reverb, and then I put distortion on it after, and that was it. So yeah, that was the whole sound. And I put distortion and reverb on it, and then automated the high pass filter. it's just strings as well, to add space. These are the East-West Orchestra. They're okay. They're expensive, but I don't know if they're the best strings in the world. But they work great for this song and this song's purpose. I really liked the duality between having something so chaotic and messy alongside something so I don't know, refined and beautiful, I guess. I don't know, it sounds so corny, but when it comes together, like, it's just crazy. I don't know, it sounds really pretty. And then I go back to playing this riff from the beginning of the song. Where is it? Right. So it's the same thing as the intro. But this time I bring in all the guitar harmonics and everything that I just showed you. But I just sort of even more, and I just completely open it up here. And it's just the guitar that I just showed you. I actually thought people were not gonna like this song because of what I did here. I thought people were gonna think it's too crazy, because like it's just distortion and the guitar, but I thought it was just so crazy and massive when I did this. And then I come back to the drop. And like, the cool thing is too, I brought in so much tension from this song, because as I said, the whole thing is tension and release, right? So the whole time, from the very beginning of the song, it starts massive, and then like there's no release, and then the build happens, and then the drop happens, and it's always raising. And then I have that middle section, which I think is beautiful. But this part right here, after all of that happens, and it builds up and builds up, I have this drop, and this drop is actually a little bit different from the one before. The lead goes higher this time. There's hold on, where is it? There's more to the lead now to just add like tension. And it just never stops going up. And that's the drop. It just keeps building. And then it just ends on a reverb tail of the lead. So yeah, this whole journey writing the song was more of a creative one than like Escape, because Escape was a cathartic piece. I wrote that piece like for myself. It was supposed to, you know, it just served a different purpose. This was at a point in my life when I was trying to learn how to expand on my production skills and be the best that I can possibly be in this field, in my own way. And this was that for me. I think I hit every mark with this song. This was like kind of the catalyst of me trying to prove myself in this space. And I think that's why it did so well. And I'm really humbled and grateful that it did. I feel like I probably my ego is probably coming out right now, and I'm really sorry. I don't think I'm like the best producer out there. I think I'm actually really bad and unorganized, but there's purpose to all of this, and it makes sense to me. And that's all that matters, because at the end of the day, this is the first time anybody's ever seen any of this, and I wrote this song years ago. Yeah, this is Venture. I really appreciate you. Thank you for listening to me talk about all this stuff. Do you hey Alex, do you want me to continue? Because I'd be more than happy to like now get into the granular synthesis thing that I was talking about, how I would like go about writing in that way if you want me to. Okay. Yep. He said yep. I don't know what that means. I'm gonna try to find like a place to start. Turn up the mic level a bit. Okay. Sorry. It's up all the way. I'm just gonna turn down one of the other things. And then here we go. Ableton's crashing. All my project files like are on the brink of crashing. I had to like spec out my computer just to keep up with my stupid production. So, I'm gonna try my best to give an example of how I will go about writing something that inspires me right now to the best of my ability. Please keep your expectations low, because in terms of going about writing music, it takes a long time for me to find something that I actually resonate with and something for me to go with. So like it's not instant at all, and it's very like random a lot of the time. Like here, let me just take this pretty section from Escape. This is perfect because it's not running through any master chain or anything, so it's quiet. Just for the purpose of this whole thing, I'm just gonna throw this here before I start. Okay. So I would start by putting a sample in Granulizer, and this changes too. I don't do this all the time, but why am I not hearing anything? Okay, just the keyboard's not working. Like that's beautiful. And you know what? I created this piece of music and I'm putting it through a simple plugin and I'm just literally clicking one key. But the thing to me is if what I just did was inspiring enough to me and I went and resampled that, I have no problem with turning that into a song, because who's gonna tell me I can't? You know, it's easy, but why does production need to be difficult? It's not a competition. I'm trying to create art. I'm trying to create something that makes me happy, and at the end of the day, that's like all that really matters. So yeah, literally I could have taken that and resampled it more. Let me try to do that really quick. Let me take what I just did. I actually prefer that I'll start in this key. So I'll go to resampling mode and then click record. Simple chord progression. It's clipping really bad. But like I can go and take this and, you know, I can turn this into like a supersaw stack. I just take one chord and then maybe get rid of some of the sub frequencies. add like a bass of some sort. Let me find a BPM. Okay, let me unwarp these so I can mess around with this. So I'll do 150. I mean, this is the same chord progression as Escape. I wouldn't do this. I like to change it up more than this, but for the sake of right now. Oh, that's kind of cool. I could like mess with that. So I'll move this here. Oh, that's so fucking cool. Okay, here we go. Okay, and then I'll end on this chord, you know? So it's like... It's so cool. And I could just, I don't know, I could just do stuff like that. I kind of want to move this chord over like this. Okay, okay, sorry, let me go back. So this sound right here, I explained it earlier. Where was it? So this is the pretty section on my song Escape, like the middle, which I created by resampling my own music in the first place as well, which I created that song. There's like a long line of history with this stuff. So Escape was resampled by Bring Me Home, my song Bring Me Home off my EP. Bring Me Home was resampled by my song These Thoughts in My Head. That's how I started that whole process. And These Thoughts in My Head was resampled by using another one of my songs, probably, because that's how I made like one of the original sounds. And so I have like this whole like ecosystem in my whole world of music where I take and grab things all over from my own music. And because it's all about efficiency, in my opinion, like as fast as I can get from point A to point B, creating something that I believe in, that resonates with me, like that's all that matters. And yeah, as you saw, like it gets more complicated once you have an idea. Like you can expand on it and do a lot of cool tricks to make it even more unique. Like my song that I recently created called 1000 Miles, that's off of my album that I'm working on right now. That song doesn't sound like anything I've ever done before, but there are things that I pull into my music to create that kind of atmosphere feel, to bring it all together. So yeah, that's what I do. So just now, this is a killer chord progression that I created. Like that's so cool, and I could take that and run with it. I don't know if I really should right now, because I'm like I could just get into a whole thing, and it's already 12:38. But I think honestly, the most important part about this, it isn't the super saws. Like here, let me show you the super saw I do, just so you can get an idea of it. It's so simple. You just need. I use this sound right here. If you're gonna do this, I'll do like 16 unison. Bring the next one up an octave and bring it in the back of the mix. line is just the root notes. And then I would use bring it down an octave. It's kind of corny, and I would try a bit harder to remove the super saw sound by like adding other sounds that are cool. And then maybe I would like, you know, throw this on here. I'll choose. This is a very powerful plugin. It's free. It's a reverb plugin. And then maybe I'll choose a fun transient mode because this is always fun to mess with. And then beyond that, I could then take like a utility or something. And this is how I make my music breathe as well. I'll do something like this. And then there you go. That's beautiful. And then just like throw a kick and a snare on it. But that's like, I don't know, that's lazy. But you know, you could do whatever you want. And that's so full of life. I didn't even put Prog Essential notes on here. What am I doing? What am I up to? I have everything in really weird folders. Don't worry about it. Okay. And then I just put the beginning of the sound where the chord begins. And that's so pretty. Like, then you can bring in that chord to resolve the whole thing. And that's totally something I would do. You could be like, okay, then let me. Is it okay that I'm still working on this? This is kind of fun. I've never done anything like this before. Kind of going to the major chord after that. It just sounds so beautiful, and I love that because at the end of the day, like, the majority of the song was this, right? But I wrote that. I wrote the beginning piece of music. I did minimal effort to get where I got, but like, who cares? Because the majority of people listening to this music and resonating with it and like finding something meaningful within it aren't producers, and they don't care. Like, look at someone like Kanye West or something. Like people. Like, Kanye West probably doesn't sit there and like tweak his songs for hours and hours through like every little sound to like make something meaningful. Like, he'll go and resample somebody else's music and pitch it up and then just chop it up, and then he's a legend. Because that's what like the best artists in the world do. They don't get caught up. They get motivated in their own unique ways, and then they move forward. And this is the way that works for me. So when people like try to understand what kind of an artist I am. I don't think I'm like a I don't think my thing is drops. I think it was, but I think right now as an artist, and this is something I'm exploring a lot more with my album, it's this resampling process. It's the signature. It's the way that I feel and create, and it's unique and it's simple. It's super simple, but I think it's more refined than it's ever been because I could do something like this. I'll throw the same kick that I've been throwing every single one of these songs with. Give me a second. Sorry. And then I'll do. I don't want like a. I'll just do a pan snare for the sake of time. So dumb. I don't think I would do this anymore, but. It's not good right now. I could make it good, but I'm just gonna. I think this is the most meaningful part, and I'm gonna leave it here. Thank you guys for listening to me talk about this process of mine. I'm really sorry if I came off egotistical or like in my own head, and I probably am. I'm probably completely in my own head, but I like the world that I've created for myself with my music, and I'm gonna keep working with it. I hope that you found something meaningful throughout this whole process. Thank you so much for listening to me. I hope you have the best day. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me. Thank you, Defire, for hosting me. This was a wonderful opportunity. It pushed me way outside of my comfort zone. I never thought I would do anything like this. Thank you. I really appreciate you guys. Sorry about the hiccup as well. I'm so bad at goodbyes. Okay, I'm just gonna stop. You're a treasure, Austin. Okay, goodbye.